front. That's the Mecca emblem, by the way. Mecca has been doing this since 1979 here in Killeen. So we've gone through at least 2 generations. I've got generations of kids I've worked with through most of their middle school, high school, and college. That's the Mecca emblem. We also teach music and dance. So that is STEAM. Next slide. The solar eclipse is going to be all over the United States. We've already declared this area an emergency. They expect the number of people in Killeen to double. Okay, so they expect all kinds of problems. Food shortages, just like we had for the pandemic. Road blocked because of traffic. A lot of problems. So, and you can see this is going to affect the whole United States almost. So we're in totality. That's what's going to draw people from all over the world and all of the United States to this area. Lots of them are coming to Texas, one of the best places to see the eclipse. You can see there, as you go further out, you have a certain percent. My daughter lived way up there, my granddaughter, and they will even get 40% up at Madigan Army Hospital, Fort Lewis, Washington. So, Alex, next slide. Elisa. What do you know which slide? I need somebody look at these slides. Okay, now what should you do during the eclipse? First of all, most people think you're going to just look up. Well, you don't. You look up and you look down. And you look for a lot of things. You've got 4.5 minutes basically to see things that you probably never see the rest of your life. If you're a city person and you're going to stay in a city and you don't travel on the ocean or you don't go to dark country, you will probably never see the Milky Way, which we are part of. Like it or not, our galaxy that we live in is only one star out of thousands, if not millions, in the Milky Way. Okay, the other thing we're after is those who might be hardcore scientists is as the skies darkens, temperatures are going to go down. So whatever depends on the sun is going to change. So your temperature might get nice and hot, and all of a sudden you're cold. Within a minute or two, you're cold. So we're looking for what they call citizen scientists to take a temperature. Okay? And then with that temperature, you take the humidity and you record it. And then we send this on to NASA. These are programs that we're enlisting, recruiting people for, called citizen scientists. Precious saddles on the ground, which is one of the principles of physics or photography, a pinhole camera. So my daughter did it last time. You can take a Columbine, I guess you call it, colander, from the kitchen, hold it up, and it's got lots of holes. So hold it above the ground, and you'll see all kinds of moons. If you go up around trees, between the leaves of the trees, you'll see on the ground. Okay? They're called the shallows. So a lot of people will be looking down from the shallows. We're teaching what we call smart cameras, a digital eclipse, where you do not look at the sun, and especially through any kind of glass. Never, period, do not look at the sun through any glass. Therefore, you have to have filters if you want to do that, or glasses. We don't recommend that, personally. We recommend you buy a smart telescope and look at it on a TV screen. And Tad's here going to teach people how to use these smart telescopes. So if you're hardcore into this, I would highly recommend that you buy one of these for your children or at Christmas time. They're about $300. A complete set's around $500. That is really cheap. This is cutting edge technology right out of China with this eclipse. So you can look at it and let that telescope do all the work. You don't have to learn most of the things that I'm trying to teach you here. Next slide. Total eclipse. This is a time in totality that you can take off the glasses, or you might not burn your eyes out. As I said again, you will either burn your eyes out, go blind, or you'll burn out your camera on your cell phone or whatever device you got if you point it directly at the sun. So do not do it. Just do not do it. I'm a doctor, so we try to teach safety. That's why I say buy for $500 one of these things, and it will do everything that old telescopes will do. And you can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your TV screen. You can watch it any way you want. And it's you doing it. It's not NASA. You'll see a diamond ring. This is the 3D ring, which is 3D printing. You'll see a diamond ring effect up there. And then you'll see, I don't have it up there, but what they call Bailey's beads. Little tiny bead things. It's where the moon has crevices and so on. The 10th corona, this is the only time in your lifetime that you'll see the corona of the sun. The sun is like our atmosphere. It's the gas around the sun. So you never can see it because the sun's too bright. You hardly ever can photograph it. Next slide. Okay, this is the ecliptic. See the eclipse there? Venus, one of our planets, Saturn, another planet, Mars, and up there Jupiter. So you can see they're all in that belt. So you'll be able to see all of those if you look for them with your eye. Now, this is another thing. CTC has $1 million planetarium. Their astronomer teaches what you call naked eye astronomy. Put that in your mindset and think what they're teaching. That's the astronomy before Galileo, without a telescope. We've already gone through visual astronomy. For the last 25 years, we're into radio astronomy, using radio waves. Your eye can't see them. We're now moving into sound astronomy, using sound. So the bottom line is, a lot of what we're teaching here, there's very few places in Central Texas or even in Texas to get this. I doubt if hardly anybody in Texas yet is going to have sessions on smart telescopes. And we've got 2 of them here. Next slide. Remember now that's in looking south. I told you most things are going to be south. This is a circumpolar star. You see the polar star up in the middle. You'll see Earth a major, Ursa Minor, and then the king and the queen. You must find those. And then you're going to find Andromeda if she's there. No, Andromeda is not considered circumpolar, which means she's not up there during the whole year. These are there no matter what time you look at it. But in June 21st, some things will not be there. Our sky is seasonal, 3 months at a time. Cephas up at the top. He's got a crown. Cassiopeia of W. And if she's up at the top, she'll be probably an M this way. Once she's down at the bottom, she'll be this way. So a certain time of the year, she'll be down here. Other times, she'll be up there. So you're going to find, next slide, everybody can find that. Even a beginner first time out. This is Ursa Major, the Big Dipper. Okay. So you must know the dipper. In England they call that a plow. Oh, they're gone. Oh. Okay, here's names. This is the other thing. Any of the kids that want to go into science, it's good to learn this because astronomy goes back 3,000 years. Goes back to the Chinese culture, the Arabic culture, the Greek culture. So like it or not, we still use all that. I try to teach the kids Roman numerals. Mixed mariachi music uses Roman numerals for the chord system. So we still teach them. The zodiac. The zodiac has certain symbols. So you need the Greek alphabet, alpha, beta, delta, omega. You have to get familiar with that as they are ABC. And it gets a lot more complicated. The key is to keep the kids learning this once a month. Not at school. They'll be exposed to something in school one time, and then they won't see it again probably for a long time. STEM is putting things together. Taking science, technology, math, you name it, and blending them together. Next. Most people claim probably don't even know what a Messier object is. Messier was a French sailor. Because he was out at sea a lot, he looked at astronomy, just like I did in the Army. I spent 5 years in Panama. So here at Fort Hood, it was not uncommon for me to be out in the field in January for 21 days. That's what the generals liked us, their army, to learn to do. To be out there, get rid of all the cookies and candy and everything, so that it wasn't a week, it was 21 days in January. So I spent a lot of time looking at stars in Korea, all over. M means Messier. There's 110 Messier objects. So anybody who is deeply interested in astronomy or astrophotography is going to spend a year looking at those objects. So that night, that day, during the eclipse, you'll be able to see some things that you'll never see otherwise, but you need to have a telescope. Most of them you cannot see with your eye. One of them, Andromeda, is one of the few that you can see with your eye. So the other ones you cannot. It's M81, M82, and if you want to write this down, one of these is called the Cigar Galaxy, and one is called Bode, B-O-D-E. So now these have been studied for hundreds of years. They all have names. They all have scientific data. Next slide. So again, as I said, if you know what to look for, follow that line, and you'll be able to see two Messier objects that you probably have never seen in your life or never will see again, that you can see at that time. Up here is 101, Messier 101. That's called the pinwheel. So Messier objects, there's several of them. If anybody wants to learn these or write them down, Messier objects are divided into various things. A galaxy, Milky Way galaxy. 2, nebulas. A nebula is gas up there that's colored. And there's many of them. They said there's 110 for those who are involved in amateur astronomy. So I would say at least look for those 3. So look for the Big Dipper and then look for those during the totality. Next one. Is that it? Okay, that's it. Okay. Let's see where we're at in time. 11:59. Okay, let's go over to these tables. I want to take you through the tables.